Hi everyone, it's Holly. Welcome back to Clinical Psychology Community UK. I just wanted to do a video after my break. So it's only been a week, but I've taken a bit of time away to think about some stuff. A bit of background for you. So I've applied to the doctorate for the last 6 years in a row, the Clinical Psychology doctorate in the UK. And this year I interviewed for a course and I've got a reserve place, but I'm not within the top 10, so I'm not particularly hopeful that I'm going to get a place this year. And I'm also on the reserve for an interview for another course. Again, not particularly hopeful that I'll get a chance. What precipitated the break was getting that reserve offer and not getting a firm offer. It all became a little bit overwhelming for me and a bit difficult to continue to be really positive about life and the doctorate and everything like that. I think it's difficult when you put in so much time and dedication and commitment into something, particularly something like the doctorate, which only comes around once a year, and then not getting in. You realise that delays what you want to do for another year. And actually, you kind of realise that there is no guarantee. That's kind of the reason that I wanted to come and do the video today, because I wanted to talk a little bit about how I reacted when I got my reserve offer. And that sort of basically means I'm not going to get a place this year. Why I took a break, and how I kind of got my head to a place where I feel like I'm back on the horse, if you like. So let's get into it. When I got my email, it was 4:45 on the day that we were supposed to get our feedback, and I'd been looking on Instagram and loads of people had already got offers, and which is fantastic, and I'm really so truly happy for everybody that gets their offers. I really am. But then I think I just whipped myself up into like a frenzy. I was absolutely like shaking with anxiety, and then I got the email at 4:45 and I read it, and I was like, I read it wrong. I didn't understand what it meant. I thought I was in the top 10 of reserves, and then I read it again and I was like, oh, nope, I'm not in the top 10. So that means I could be number 11 or I could be number 36 in the reserves. It's impossible to tell. But realistically, for this particular course, I highly doubt that at least 11 people are going to not accept their places. The initial things for me, I was gutted. I cried a lot. I was very sad, because I think you get to a point where you build everything up in your head and you think, cool, I can get onto the doctorate this year, and then we can buy a house and we know where we're going to be for the next 3 years, and then we can get married next year and we can do all of these things, and then I can work and then I can have babies, and it kind of fits with the life plan. And when that doesn't happen again for the 6th time in a row, it is really, really difficult. And I think what was particularly difficult for me this year is that I put absolutely everything into it. Like, I really could not have put more into it. Not in an unhealthy way either. I was really realistic about the prep that I wanted to do and the work towards getting ready for training. Not necessarily getting ready for an interview, but getting ready for training. And this was the first year where I truly felt like I could actually undertake training. But unfortunately, being ready and wanting it is not enough, because there are so many of us that are fantastic, and actually if you interview, you could probably do really well on training. So it's very, very tough. Now I absolutely went through something that I call PHAF, okay, which is panic, hopelessness, anger and frustration. The panic was, oh my god, I have to wait another year. Am I even doing the right thing with my life? Do I even want to do this? Why don't I just go and join the police or something like that? Because I don't want to dedicate my entire life to psychology anymore, because it clearly doesn't want me, so why would I want it? That was absolutely my first reaction, which clearly you can see the anger involved there. But there was also quite a lot about hopelessness, and thoughts about, well, will I ever get on? I don't know. I don't think I will. It's a hopeless cause. Why don't I just go and try and do something else? And then if we think about like a CBT vicious cycle, there were thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'll never be good enough. The emotions there were like low mood and sadness and quite a lot of pain, actually. And I mean physical chest pain, and lots of crying. And then behavior wise, I would sort of ruminate over everything and be very inactive and not be able to really focus on stuff other than looking at other career options. So when the anger comes in, it's anger at myself because I lost the place at the interview, is the truth of it. If you interview and you don't get a place, it's your place to lose to somebody else. Like that's it sounds like a really horrible competitive way of thinking about it, but that's the way I've sort of framed it. But actually, is that helpful? We'll come to that. And then I have anger at the system. So what a reserve place essentially means is that you're good enough. If they had 50 places, then you would have got a place, which is madly frustrating, because the system is broken. We all know this. We all know that the system is completely broken, and actually you do need a little bit of luck. I'm not saying that everyone that gets onto the doctorate is lucky, because everyone that gets on really deserves their place. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think, like I said, anyone that interviews would be able to do the doctorate well. And it's just about how you show yourself at interview that's really important. And then I have some frustration. You can only apply once a year, and it kind of screws the life plan up. So there was a lot of really negative emotions and difficult stuff. And one of the important things that I felt this year more so than any other year, probably because I do this YouTube stuff and the Instagram stuff, is embarrassment. Being very open about the fact that I've applied 6 times and not getting on. It's embarrassing to have to come back and say, hi guys, didn't get on for a 6th year, but listen to what I've got to say. Like, it's very, very difficult, because actually, I haven't got on. But hopefully these videos are still helpful in some way for people. And I'm hoping that this video will resonate with some people that have applied and not been successful however many times, because even the first time, even when that was my practice, I was like gutted. I thought I could be the exception and I could get on and it would be great. But no, that's not quite what happened. And I think it's also a bit embarrassing. Like, I tried not to tell too many people that I had an interview, apart from when I posted it on Instagram. But in my life that I had an interview, because it's even more people to tell when you haven't been successful. And those are lessons that I've learned the last 2 years where I've interviewed. So embarrassment is definitely a thing. And I think that's what prompted me taking a week away and just saying, guys, can't do this anymore. Because when you also see all the posts where everyone's getting on, as I've said, I'm so truly happy for you all, but I'm also really jealous. I wish that was me. I absolutely do. And when you start visualizing all the things that could happen if you get on to the doctorate, and it's like you're a massive goal being achieved, and you see other people achieving their goals and you don't for a 6th time, it's really hard to remain positive and supportive. So I just needed to take some time away to sort of process that. I think one of the biggest things I've learned this year is about accepting and feeling the emotions, not just trying to make them go away. So in terms of feeling the PHAF, the panic, the hopelessness, the anger, the frustration, and the embarrassment as well, really feeling those things, as much as it made me cry and cry and cry and cry. I have a sad playlist. This is how I cope with it. I have a sad playlist. I listen to that sad playlist and I cry, and I go for walks and I cry, and I listen to the sad music and I cry and I cry and I cry. But it helps, because when I woke up a couple of days after doing my process, I call it, of just crying and feeling that emotion, I realized, okay, I'm being ridiculous. I just need to calm down. It's going to be fine. I think I started realizing all of the good things that come out of not getting onto the doctorate this year. Number 1, I will be better next year. And if I don't get on next year, I'll be even better the year after that. I will always get better and better. And actually, I'll get more out of training the longer that I am in a pre-training role. I understand that. It's just a bit of frustration. Secondly, I had a very fixed life plan in my head about when I wanted to have kids and things like that. And actually, things just need to be adapted and changed, and that's fine. That's just what will happen. and that's okay. Whereas I've never really thought of it as being okay before. And then you kind of get into a bit of bargaining. So I was thinking to myself, well, I'm planning a wedding next year. I won't need to be on the doctorate when I plan my wedding. Fantastic, because planning a wedding and doing the doctorate sounds impossible. So when wedding planning will be easier. We can buy a house. It's another year to focus on all the good bits in the career that I want to work on and get some more experience. At the end of the day, I have great friends, an amazing family. I have somewhere to live. I always have food on the table. Everything's actually going to be fine. And it helped me get a little bit more perspective of things. Like, it's going to be okay. And I think that took quite a lot of compassionate talking to myself and saying, I'll look after you. Don't worry. We got this. You're going to be fine. And I truly mean, whenever I get on, I get on. I'm just going to continue to live my life and get the most out of the roles that I'm in. I've always said it before, like I've said that I'm ready, but I actually mean it this time, because I can't keep putting my life on hold. I can't keep making the doctorate absolutely everything in my life. I think it's just time to get on with life. And if the doctorate comes along with me on my journey, fantastic. If it doesn't, then I'll wait, and it will eventually. I hope. I mean, I'm going to apply for a 7th time now, so fingers crossed, everybody. Please keep everything crossed for me. I need all the help I can get. And I just wanted to finish with some tips that I've learned over the last week or so, and particularly through my 6 times of doing this process. Like, I'm not sure many people have applied 6 times, so I do have quite a lot of ways of managing the whole process and my emotions about the process. Firstly, look after yourself. I don't think I particularly looked after myself that well in the lead up to the interview. I think I did as best as I could at the time, but what I realized is that actually I know how to look after myself when things go really badly. When I didn't get the place that I really thought I was going to get, I knew that I needed to cry and manage it. So know how to look after yourself, basically, not just in the bad times, but also in the good times. And as part of that, know what you need from others. So my partner, bless him, he was really trying to help, and I just didn't know how to communicate what I wanted. And I didn't even know what I wanted. I just wanted to cry and be sad. But we kind of had a discussion before, and we got lots of delicious food, and we just sat and we talked it through, and we got angry at the system and everything like that. But have a plan if it's bad news. Like, that's definitely something I should have done. I mean, I got myself a new phone, so that was helpful, and it came on the day of the outcome, so I had a new phone to play with. We made sure that we got a takeaway either way that was going to happen, So have a plan either way, but definitely have a plan if it's bad news as well. Just a few closing comments. It's really easy for someone who's applied 6 times like me to say, and it's taken me this long to really truly believe it. The doctorate isn't everything. And that actually hurts me to say, because for years the doctorate has been everything, because I felt like I needed to put 100% into it to be successful. But I've not been. That's the truth of it. So try not to internalize that lack of success to mean that you're a failure. That is probably the biggest thing that I've learned in this whole process. Last year when I didn't get on, it knocked me for months. I really wasn't okay, because I really internalized all of that to mean that I was rubbish. Whereas this year I've done quite a lot of things that I'm really proud of, work-wise, psychology-wise, and I think it's helped me realize that actually I've got lots of skills and I've got lots of knowledge, like we all do, and it's okay to say that we have all of these things. It's just the luck of the system sometimes. But hey, we go again. We're applying for a 7th time. If you follow my channel, then you know that I can get interviews. I just can't seem to get the places. So I will be doing some doctorate application help and a mentoring scheme as well. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page. Thanks for watching my random rant. I hope it's been helpful for some people that haven't been able to get on and are looking at applying again. We've got this. We can do this. We will eventually get there. It just takes a little bit of time. Don't internalize it. You're brilliant. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.